Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Ask Jade. So today I am going to touch on Illinois sales tax. A lot of questions surrounding this, especially with online businesses, things like that. It can get pretty complex. I'm going to try to make some sense of it. So the term sales tax actually refers to several tax acts. So first, the Retailer's Occupation Tax Act. This imposes tax upon persons engaged in business of selling tangible personal property at retail to purchasers for the use of consumption. That is the occupation tax that people might be familiar with. Then there's the Use Tax Act, which imposes tax on the privilege of using in the state of Illinois tangible personal property that is purchased anywhere from a retailer or retail store, and that's the use tax. So these two taxes actually comprise what is commonly known as sales tax in Illinois. So a retailer uses its gross receipt to calculate its occupation tax liability. As a part of the same transaction, the retailer also satisfies its obligation to collect the use tax owed by the customer. So in effect, the tax collection reimburses the retailer for its occupation tax liability, which is essentially how it's supposed to work. So generally tax rates, so you're aware if you are a retailer or selling anything, whether this is in person or online, in the state of Illinois is 6.25% on general merchandise, which includes items required to be titled, and 1% on qualifying food, drugs, and medical appliances. We can get into definitions and things like that. If you have specific questions, you can reach out to me on that. And then sales tax can actually be higher in some areas because of certain local jurisdictions, such as, Evanston, Skokie, things like that, are allowed to impose their own taxes combined with the state sales tax rates. So there is a tool online called the Tax Rate Finder. I'll include a link in the description or transcript that can help you find the specific sales tax rate for where you are located. So that's helpful. Now, things can differ based on types of retailers. So there's in-state retailers, think brick and mortar. There are out-of-state sellers. So you might not actually have an Illinois business, but you can be considered to have a physical presence in the state of Illinois based on really your activities, your transactions. There's a threshold for this, and it's actually if you have sold, and this is an annual threshold, if you've sold 100,000 or more gross receipts from sales to purchasers in Illinois, or 200 or more separate transactions for the sale of tangible property to purchasers in Illinois, and this is on an annual basis. So this is something you would have to keep track of if you're selling in different states, and your primary location is not Illinois. And as far as I know, other states have these type of tax considerations for you as well if you're selling in multiple states. And then there becomes other definitions that get involved, such as a marketplace and a marketplace seller and a marketplace facilitator. A lot of people think of, like Etsy as a marketplace facilitator. And because Etsy itself is not actually selling you the good, right? It's the store that you're buying from. But Etsy is a marketplace facilitator, which Illinois says based on the specific circumstances might be on the hook for making sure that they're collecting tax in addition to that shop collecting the proper tax. So there's a lot that can really go into this, and it can get really nuanced. So you need to speak to an attorney about your specific situation. And then also there's resellers. So this is when a sale for a resale occurs. So essentially, you think wholesale, but you buy something for the purpose of reselling it. If you have the proper form, you are not initially subject to that use tax then when it is purchased. So if you are a reseller, you want to make sure that you have the form on file with the state of Illinois so that you can avoid that use tax. So this can get really convoluted, but it is important to stay on top of. So if you have questions, feel free to reach out to Zeidman and Carpenter. We're always happy to help and guide you through these type of nuances for your business. And I'll see you next time.